you giving back to other people, and what are you actually giving and leaving to the world? So in other words, your purpose is purely about what your contribution to the beautiful world we live in is, because I'm going to go a bit woo-woo here, but everything around us is connected by energy. So if we take, that's the energy we're always going to have, that lack and scarcity. But if we continue to give and contribute and continue to give, it's going to come back to us in abundance. What's up, legends? I hope you're all having an amazing week. Today I just wanted to jump on and do a little bit of a solo episode for you all. I think we're up to like episode 29 as of now. 29, 30. Well, anyways, all I want to say is thanks so much for joining me up until this point. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, don't worry. There's going to be plenty more to come. You've got plenty of time. They're not going anywhere. And I'm going to continue to put them out. Now, as I've said in a couple of previous solo episodes as well, if there's anything you guys want me to talk about, so any topics you'd like me to personally cover, then please let me know. I'd love to give you guys the value that you want, as opposed to just talking about the shit that I want to talk about, which I hope will be valuable to you anyway. But yeah, so if there's anything you would like me to talk about, I'll put it out to you guys. Send me a message, send me an email, do whatever you have to do to get in contact with me, and let me know what it is you'd like me to talk about. I'd love to be serving you guys to the best of my ability and giving you as much value as I can. Now today, I'm going to talk about something that a lot of people struggle with. Especially I feel the men that I work with, and that is finding their purpose, or even understanding what their purpose might be. So purpose is a funny one. The reason for which we exist, the reason that we feel we are here on this planet. And to me, that's what purpose is. It's, okay, so we break down the word purpose. What does the word purpose mean? It's the reason for which something is done, right? So what is the purpose behind this? The purpose behind an anchor is to keep the boat that's sailing out to sea from sailing out to sea when we want to, drop anchor and stay at a certain point. The purpose behind food is to feed us and keep us energized and give us the energy we need to participate in our day-to-day activities. The purpose behind having a child is to repopulate the world. I'm sure other people have other ideas about that, but that's the general reason we have children, right? Is to help to bring more people back into the world. And the purpose for which we exist, well, our purpose is, the purpose for which we exist, the purpose for which we are actually here and what we are here to do. And everyone has a different purpose, even though you might find that your purpose is aligned with similarly to other people's. Your purpose is unique to you. Okay, so first thing when it comes to purpose, and I think understanding purpose, is that, purpose doesn't necessarily mean your job. It doesn't necessarily mean what you do for fun. It doesn't necessarily mean X, Y, and Z. Your purpose is, I guess, what you feel your reason for being here on this earth is. So this is something that a lot of people struggle with, and it's no wonder that they feel lost. People sit down and try and do their mission statement. They try and do, I guess, their vision statement. And without having a clear understanding of their purpose, it's hard to sort of see what their vision is going to look like, or their North Star, we call it, their guiding light. Now, if you're someone that struggled to understand your purpose, then listen in, because I am going to go through a little exercise which will help you to start to uncover this. Hey, hello. Sorry for interrupting your podcast, but I just wanted to quickly jump on and tell you about the must-have personal development tool for 2023, and it's called the Happier, Healthier You Journal. So I'll take you back to about 6 years ago. I'd just gotten out of jail for the last time and was starting my journey of personal development and growth. There was heaps of gurus, heaps of information available, but so much so that it became confusing. So I came up with the Happier, Healthier You Journal to help you to navigate what can be an absolute minefield. From the very get-go, you open the page and it'll challenge you to dive deep with self-assessments, daily activities, and check-ins to figure out exactly where you're at, where you'd like to be. And then from there, the journal becomes the tool to help you to bridge that gap. So to get your hands on this, click on the link below, and don't forget to use INTOCHANGE10 at checkout for a cheeky 10% off. I'll see you back over on the episode. But one thing to understand about purpose is, unlike your why, and why was a term that was coined by Simon Sinek, and your why is, I guess, the reason for doing everything you do. Purpose is a little bit different. When we have a purpose, it may evolve and it may change. What will happen is you might fulfill your purpose. Whereas with your why is the reason for which you're doing everything you're doing and working towards whatever you're working towards. I hope you guys sort of understand the difference there. I'm really not the greatest at explaining that right here. Maybe I'll put something in the podcast notes to talk about, I guess, a bit more of a depth of what the difference between those two are. English, great. Doing well today, Ben. But your purpose, right? Once you get a clear idea of what your purpose is, it's going to help you to sort of show up as the best version of yourself. And I guess then be feeling like you're aligned with what you're meant to be doing. So if you don't understand your purpose, it's no wonder that at the moment you might feel a little bit stagnant and like you feel a little bit lost. And trust me, I was like this for a long time. And after doing the work and sitting down and actually really diving deep into myself and what I want out of this life and what I can offer this life from myself, it sort of helped me to really start to feel like I was on the right path. And as of late, I've had a couple of big life events, and it made me sit down and really go back over my purpose, my mission, my vision, my why, my values as well. Values are a great one to sort of go over. So the things that you hold as important, because these are generally the driving force behind everything that we do on a day-to-day basis. So generally when we, feel a bit uneasy about doing something, it might be because it's against our values or what we see as being important or morally outside of our scope of practice. Outside of our moral compass, I should say. But yeah, so first of all, if you can start to understand your values. Now, values are things like, love, relationships, friends, family, honesty, integrity, modesty, business. These are all things that we hold as important. So go through, I guess, a list of values, and I might actually put a list of values in the podcast notes. For you guys that are very common ones. These are actually ones that I use when it comes to working with a lot of people I work with. So I'll put a list of about 15 to 20 values that people tend to find important or tend to hold a lot of value around, and go through and just see which 5 jump out to you. And then think about how you show up every day to embody those values and how those values show up for you in your day-to-day life and how you live your life in accordance with those values. If you're not living your life in accordance with those values, good chance that even though they sound nice on paper, they aren't your true values or the things that you hold as important. Now, once again, values can change. The things that you hold as important now might not be as important to you in 10 years' time. So right now, if your main focus is money, in 10 years' time, your main focus might be family rather than finances or wealth. So values can change. This is why it's really important to, I guess, sit down and actually get clear on your values. If you are feeling a little bit lost, breathe, Ben. English is not your strong suit today. Anyways, so once you get an idea of your values, then we can start to look at your purpose. So your purpose, like I said, is the reason for which you do everything. And when you start to understand this and I guess understand what your purpose on this earth might be, because like I said, we all play a different role in contributing. Yes, that's right. Purpose isn't about what we can take, it's about what we can give back. And I'll run you through the exercise and you'll start to see what I'm talking about in a second. So purpose is something that once you sit down and actually start to understand your purpose, you'll see that your purpose now might be different to your purpose in 10 years' time. So not exactly different, but it may have evolved, just like the why does. The why will never change, but the purpose behind the why may. So for me, my purpose at one point in time was to, and this is obviously once again without understanding what purpose was, to be a drug dealer. That was what I felt was my ideal life and my purpose in life. I didn't know anything better. And it was just because I was always high. I actually had a clouded judgment around what was important to me and what was important in the world. So after going to jail, doing my time and getting out. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt again, but if you're liking what you see so far, don't forget to like and subscribe and share with your friends. Remember, all your support is really appreciated, and I'll see you back over on the episode. Once again, I didn't understand at the time, but I started to move closer towards my purpose. And my purpose at the time was, in my head, okay, cool. Well, I like helping people with fitness. The reason I like doing this is because fitness is what saved my life. Fitness is what got me off the drugs. It got me away from jail. It got me away from all the things that were bad in my life, it was the one thing I could always rely on that wasn't going to let me down. This is the fitness, the gym, health, that sort of stuff. It was the one thing that no matter how bad I felt, if I went and did some kind of exercise or some kind of movement with my body, I'd always feel so much better. So for me, I felt that it was my purpose to share exercise and fitness and health with the world. And this felt great for a long time. This actually felt really good for probably about 3 or 4 years. And as I started to go deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole when it comes to the fitness industry, I started to branch off more towards the coaching side of things, the personal development side of things, the mentoring role that I now find myself in today. And it was a slow transition because there was this big part of my identity that was like, but I'm Ben, the fitness coach. I'm the health coach. IntoFit is who I'm going to be. It's who I'm going to always be. And I actually had to do a lot of soul searching and deep diving within myself to realize that, hey, it's okay to let that go. And who I am, which is Ben, is not the PT. I am me. I am not what I do for work. I am not what I do for a job. I am not, X, Y, and Z, whatever it might be. I am me. And I have my own identity outside of Ben, the fitness coach, although they were very aligned after I did all the work and got off the piss and stopped taking drugs and whatnot. Because at one point in time, there was like a big misalignment between, hey, do what I say, but don't do what I do. And it's no wonder that my business was failing, right? So that's another thing as well, to make sure that you're in alignment with what you're preaching and what you're putting out to the world, right? But anyways, a bit of a tangent there. I then found that after being in the fitness world, like I said, I sort of started to lose my passion for it to a certain degree. I wasn't really trying so hard to get clients, wasn't trying so hard to get money. And I think at the time I had a big value around money as well because it was like that lack and scarcity mindset. Whereas now I know that money flows to me in abundance and it flows to me freely. But at the time it was like, where can I get my next paycheck? So I was so hungry and I sort of lost sight of what was important to me. But after, I guess, the first half of this year, going through this transitional phase now into the personal development and high performance, and especially now working with men and even more so with fathers, I feel like it is my purpose to help these people and just serve the world. So to ask me what my purpose is, I would say that I'm Ben and it is my purpose to help men and women to realize that change is always possible no matter where they've come from, and that it's never too late to become the role models that they never had. And when I say role models they never had, this doesn't mean role models for kids. It means role models for yourself and also for the people around you. Because I feel like as a human, as a species, the human race is here to work with one another, to help elevate one another rather than pull each other back down, which is what we see so commonly on a day-to-day basis, especially with media, the news, social media, everywhere we look. It's fear and, lack and scarcity and fear, fear-mongering, trying to make people conform. Whereas I feel like we really need to all just work together and start to realize what our purpose is so we can start to contribute that to the beautiful world that we live in. So I spoke about obviously giving you guys a bit of an exercise that you could use to help you to find your purpose. Now, this is the one that I've used many a times, and it always just happens to bring something up which then I can dive deeper into. So this isn't going to be your exact purpose to a T, but if you find that you write this down and you say it out loud and you get goosebumps, which is what happened to me when I started to actually recite this purpose of mine, that means you're on the right path. Okay, that feeling is just the energy. It's like bing. It's like the feeling you get when you hit a snooker ball perfectly or you hit a golf ball perfectly. That clean shot. That's what it's like when you find your purpose. When you start to understand it, it just opens up the mind. Now, so for this exercise, very, very simple. You're going to ask yourself a series of 5 questions. So 2 questions followed by another 3 questions. And the first question is, who are you? So for instance, I'm Ben. Okay. And the second question is, what do you do? So what is the one thing that you feel that you could do hands down without even thinking about it? The one thing that you could do with love in your heart, you could do it all day long. It would never drain your energy and you could continue to do that and continue to do that and continue to do that. What is that one thing? What is the one thing that you could teach to someone else that excites you, that gets you really, really happy, that you have passion about? What is that one thing? The third question is, who do you do this for? Who is this thing done for? What is this thing that you're doing, right? But who do you do it for? Your mum, your dad, your sister, your brother, your kids, the whole of the world, men, women, young men that are trying to transition into adulthood, young women who are trying to find their way in life. Who is it that you do this thing for? And the fourth question is, what do they get out of this? What is the thing that they get out of this thing that you do for them? Is it to become a better mother? Is it to have more money? Is it to understand business? Is it to X, Y, and Z? Insert your thing here that you do, not your thing that you do. Insert the result that these people get here. And the fifth question, don't worry, I'll go back over this. The fifth question is, what is the result that they are likely to get from this thing? What is the result they're trying to get? What is the result they want, have, need, X, Y, and Z? Once again, insert the result. So let's run through those questions again. So number one, who are you? What is your name? Number two, what is the thing you do? The thing you love to do, the thing you're passionate about. Number three, who is it you do it for? Number four, lost my train of thought. That is not the question. Number four, what is it they get out of it? And number five, what is the result that they try and get from this? So let me run through mine. I'm Ben Lowe. Question one, and I inspire men and women. I inspire, which is question two. So my thing that I do is inspiring other people. And number three is the people I do it for, men and women of the world. Number three. Number four is to realize that change is always possible. This is a thing that I do for people. I help them to realize that no matter where they're at in life, they are always capable of making a change. And number five is to become the role models that they always wish they had. So that is the result they're hoping to get, is to become better role models, not just for their children, not just for the people around them, but for themselves as well, to show up as a better version of themselves, to be the happiest, healthiest version of them. So let's run through that again. Question one, who are you? Question two, what do you do? Question three, who do you do it for? Question four, what is the thing they are trying to get out of it? Number five, what is the result they're hoping to get? Right? Or what is the thing you do for them? What is the result they're trying to get? So one thing I want you to notice about this, so I'll run through mine again. So I'm Ben, and I'm here to inspire the men and women of the world to realize that change is always possible no matter where they've been in life, and to realize that they can always become the role models that they never had. So becoming better versions of themselves is always possible, right? So that is what I feel my purpose is. And once upon a time, it was just Ben the health coach. Now it's I am Ben to inspire the world. That is where I feel my place in the world is. And I feel aligned with that. I get goosebumps thinking about it. It excites me. But one thing I want you to notice about this and about your purpose, two of those questions are about you. Only two. So your purpose isn't about what you can take. The other three questions are about what you're contributing. What are you giving back to other people? And what are you actually giving and leaving to the world? So in other words, your purpose is purely about what your contribution to the beautiful world we live in is. Because I'm going to go a bit woo-woo here, but everything around us is connected by energy. So if we take, that's the energy we're always going to have, that lack and scarcity. But if we continue to give and contribute, I just hit the microphone, I don't know if you heard that on the camera, but contribute and continue to give, it's going to come back to us in abundance. We need to work together as a species, as human beings, to survive. It's what we need to do. It's what we've always done. Since back in prehistoric times, what would we do around the campfire? We'd sit around a campfire for protection, for safety, for connection, okay? Because this is one of our highest human needs. I'm going to quickly quote Tony Robbins here, and he talks about six basic human needs that every single one of us has a need for. Okay, so there's contribution, the one I'm speaking about. That's a big one, right? Certainty, variety, significance, love and connection, and growth. So contribution is one of our highest human needs. That means that to feel like we are fulfilled in life, and to feel that we're on the right path and feel like we're fulfilling our purpose, we need to start giving back. All right. So once you've started to figure out your purpose, once you've started to understand that, you've got that down on paper, sit with it. expand on it, come back to it. Go through this exercise every day for 7 days and see if you get the same answer every time. And if you're getting different answers, you're probably not going deep enough. Sit with yourself, meditate, open up with the intention of being present from your heart and being open to receive from the universe, to hear what it has to say. Do it with no distractions, a nice quiet place, no music, no nothing. Just sit and see what comes to you. And I can guarantee that once the head noise goes and you have silence, the universe will start to talk and it will start to help you to understand what your purpose is. If you've tried this in the past, you're asking the wrong questions or you're doing it with the wrong intentions. Think about what it is that you can contribute to the world, what you can give back, rather than thinking about what you can continue to take away. So there's a little exercise for you to do, obviously, with the finding your purpose. But the second thing I'd like you to take away from this is every day, and this is something that I really promote as hard as I can. It's actually part of the Happier, Healthier You journal, which is my daily planner, which I've put out, which is available through a link below. But one of the things that I really focus on in my day is gratitude and contribution. So looking at how you can start to give back in the smallest possible way. So one thing I want you to ask yourself every day at the beginning of your day, one is 3 things you're grateful for. And number 2 is how can you contribute? What is the one thing that you can do for someone else today? One random act of kindness, one act of contribution, whatever it might be. But what is that one thing that you can do for someone else today? It could be opening the door at the shops. If you've got a door that opens, opening the door for someone, holding the door open for someone as they're coming. Little things like this. Letting someone in traffic. It doesn't have to be complicated. Buying a coffee for the person in line behind you. Regularly, I'll actually go into a cafe. I don't drink coffee. And if my son wants a banana bread, I'll buy a coffee for the person behind me and I'll buy him some banana bread. I even go in there sometimes and I'll actually just buy a coffee and leave a credit for like $10 on the store for the next person that comes in. Just little things like this. And you know what? I had this amazing experience from doing exactly that. And I'm sure that some of you guys have probably experienced this and actually had it done for you as well. But I went to a cafe in Cairns and I was getting my ex-partner some banana bread. So I was like, I'm going to buy a coffee for the guy behind me. I'll just buy a large coffee. And there wasn't anyone behind me in the line at the time. A guy came in and he's like, I'll just get a coffee and this and that. And the lady behind the counter said to him, hey, this guy's actually just paid for your coffee. And he's like, ha ha ha, sorry, what? And she's like, no, seriously, he just paid for the coffee for the person behind me. And we got to talking. And lovely guy, he was from Western Australia. He was there seeing family. They were there for a week. Everyone had come and flown down for his mother's birthday or his partner's mother's 80th birthday, something beautiful like that. They'd all come and met in Cairns for a weekend away just to be together, right? And anyways, he paid it forward. So he paid for the person for the coffee behind him. So these little things like that can put a smile on someone's face and can completely change their day. It could be something that literally pulls someone that's in need out of that dark hole they're in, just to realize that there are good humans out there because they're so stuck focusing on the negatives in their life. This is who we are meant to be as a human species. We're meant to be beautiful, caring, loving, contributing people. So think about that one thing that you can do today for someone else, some random act of kindness. And even if you can't think of anything, have it in the forefront of your mind. Yeah? Is there an old lady that's lost and gone to the newsagent instead of going to the pharmacy? Can you walk her down to the pharmacy? Can you take a minute out of your day? Is there someone that looks like they need help at the gym? Maybe they're doing an exercise a little bit weirdly, and just go up with the right intentions and say, hey, look, can I just give you a bit of advice around that? That could change them and stop them from getting a back injury. Think about the one thing that you can do to contribute to the world. And I can guarantee that you'll start to feel like you're living a more fulfilled life and more in alignment with your purpose. Guys, like I said, if there's anything else you'd like me to cover or anything else you'd like me to talk about on this podcast, please leave me a comment, send me a message, something like that. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next episode. Much love.